So he's back. Charlie's in the studio, had been playing some really, really good stuff. But the other day, kind of encountered his first speed bump, which I'm sure if you're watching, you've had more than one. But in today's video, we're going to show him why the shots have been as poor as they have, a little tweak probably to his setup, but a little drill that's really going to take his ball strike into the next level, get him hitting it further and straighter than ever before. Keep watching because you are going to see some really big changes. Right, so that last image on there is exactly what's causing the problem. When you've been playing lately, you've been hitting lots of shots out the middle of the club face, but definitely last couple of games, definitely started to see that strike more towards the heel. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely first thing we need to try is changing address. So we can definitely see when you're at address at the moment, you get very narrow with your stance, very close to the golf ball. So there's no real room for your hands and arms to swing into. So what you're doing is when you're swinging back, obviously we're getting the hosel off the club. Sometimes you're kind of moving out the way and getting a good strike. And sometimes you're kind of swinging back, making room and missing the ground altogether. Yeah? So the first thing we're going to feel for you is we're going to get your grip. We're going to put the club down behind the golf ball, and I want you to feel like your arms just hang straight down from your shoulders. Then we're going to give yourself a little bit of room, and I want you to almost feel that from the thighs to the top of the grip is kind of 1.5, 2 hands widths, okay? So I imagine for you, this is going to feel like you're a lot further away, and we're going to get that stance a little bit wider, so that when we make our swing, even if we miss-hit it, we're going to see a little bit more towards the toe like that. Okay? Okay, so we can see when we're in there, those hands really close to your thighs.
Yeah.
So I think your arms are hanging down nicely, but let's move you a little further away from the golf ball, even a little bit further than that, and make that stance a little wider. Perfect. Now, does that feel very different to normal? Okay, so let's hit a couple of shots from there. Okay, so we can see a little bit nearer the middle of the club, but definitely we just missed the ground. Okay, so again, I want you to feel, I'd almost say for you, a bit uncomfortably far from the ball. Perfect. Again, still very poor strike. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, give yourself that distance away, and let's make a good swing. So we could definitely see more of the middle of the club on that one.
Yeah.
But obviously that one curving over to the right. Right, so I think much better generally with the strike, but we're definitely still seeing one of those, we're still getting the heel in too early, aren't we? So what we're going to do is we're going to pop an alignment stick outside, and then when we do the drill, we're actually going to get the ball very close to the alignment stick, and we're going to do it so that when we swing, I want you to feel like you're going to miss the cane and hit the ball. Now, obviously, if we get it out the heel, we're going to catch the cane. Probably if we get it just perfect, you'll be out the middle, but if anything, we'd like that miss hit to be a little bit more towards the toe. Right, so we're going to set up with the club very close to the alignment stick. Give yourself that room, but when you swing at the moment, we'd probably still hit the cane. So I want you to feel that you're going to land the club on the mat, but your side of the cane. So from there, yeah? And then, obviously what we're going to do is we're going to pop the ball in. Adjust your focus, really. Once you've got that address position correct, is we're going to touch the mat and miss the cane on the inside. And if we can make it really tough for you like that, we can see that contact point, if anything, will be out the toe, but we can still see if the club face is good, how that's still going to be nice and accurate. Okay, so let's get you in. And I want you to do a few practice swings without the ball first off. Perfect. Really good. Okay, so with no golf ball, absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see when the ball's there, can we be equally as good? So we're going to make it fairly tough for you to begin with. So give yourself that distance away, get set nicely.
Oh.
So you can see, still a little heely, but what was the key thing that happened there?
Hit that.
Touch the cane, yeah. Okay, so let's get you set again. Get that in there. So we've got to feel like the club comes a bit closer to us through impact. So wider with that stance.
Oh my God.
Oh. Right, so look how far away the club came back.
Yeah.
Now, do a practice swing again for me. Get close to the cane. Miss the cane.
Oh.
Perfect. Yeah? So go to the top of your backswing. Good. So as you swing down, we've got to feel that those hands get a bit closer to you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so I want you to really concentrate on this one. Try to get those hands a little bit closer to you so you miss that cane. Now, was that better?
Yeah.
Yeah? Even though you're standing further away, swinging back great, but as you're swinging down, you're swinging your hands out towards the ball. Now, which way is that making the heel go? Towards the ball?
Yeah.
So you've got to feel like your hands come closer to you through the bottom, so we can get, even with the miss hit, more of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get you in there. Give yourself some distance away from the ball at address. Now, better contact.
Yeah.
So then what's the thing we noticed once the contact was better?
Goes further.
It does, but what do we notice about the direction? Which way is the club face pointing?
Oh, it was pretty open.
So the face to path, 16 degrees. So now, stand further away, and do you feel like you could make the ball go left for me? That's better though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So definitely there, did a good job closing the face.
Yeah.
7.3, but could we close it even more on this one? Get that stance a bit wider again. And there we go. There's a golf shot. Right, so we can definitely see, if you can give yourself a little bit more room away from the golf ball, definitely gives you a better opportunity of getting the middle of the club face on the golf ball. But what we also saw on those last couple of swings, even when you give yourself the distance, if that club face is wide open, which bit's going to get there first?
The heel.
Absolutely. Whereas when you feel like you're closing the club face more, we're going to get a better strike. Still a little baby fade, but we can play with that. And if you can work on closing that club face more and more, we could potentially get that little drawy one going, which is going to get you hitting it even further and even straighter.